The podcast you're about to hear involves true stories, which may contain graphic content that is not suitable for children. Listener's discretion is advised. This is Esoteric Oddities.
Hey guys, it's me, the now 27-year-old queen.
Hey, fuck it up, sis. So for Sarah's birthday, we went to a karaoke bar.
That
Wait, what would
place-
you call it? It's just like a karaoke establishment.
No, I think it was
like
a bar. So it had like private rooms, and of course my extra ass got a private room because I find that every time I go out to karaoke, I'm waiting literally hours until
so
it's my
fucking
turn
long.
again, and I'm like, I'm not doing that. So there was like 12 of us.
And we only got, when we went out to Bob and Barbara's.
We only got twice, I think.
Yeah, and we had to wait, like once you put your song in, we had to wait maybe like an hour and a half
Right,
or 2
that's
hours.
why I was like, no.
And it was a Sunday, so I was like, I gotta go to work tomorrow.
Exactly. I wish we had like a bigger group of friends. I guess we could just invite the same people out that came.
Yeah,
because I want to do that again.
If you guys want to come out for
yeah,
karaoke.
we need 11 people.
Just come
It'd
on
be
out.
$14 a person.
Let's do
We're
it.
broke.
But it's like somewhere in Chinatown, and
It's called Lair KTV. They have like these rooms that you can rent. It was great. We
It was
spent
fun.
$377
how do you remember that?
because I was literally like, holy shit, this is $400.
We had a private bathroom.
We did. We had our own bathroom.
I was kind of upset that I didn't poop in there, but I didn't have to poop.
That's good.
I think
That's never a problem.
Yeah. No. Well.
We smoked in the bar. We were smoking on that stage. Like, what is wrong with us?
We did that. Wow. I forgot that.
Yeah.
Whoa. Okay.
We were just like, yeah, light it up. Pass it around.
Not even that, but
99 bottles.
not even that. But we were on a stage, so like everybody
was
on
raised.
everybody was on the dance floor, and then we stood
Well,
on the
because I
stage.
remember I smelled someone else smoking. So I was like, all right, I got a blunt. I'm going to light up too.
It was also like what the bar was like about to close. Kung
No,
Fu
it
Necktie.
was-
Or maybe it was like 1-ish because we left when they turned the lights on, which was 2. Last
Yeah.
call was 2.
And no, we left that karaoke place. They could not get us out. I was like, hello, everyone. I took the mic and I was like, hello, everyone. We have to go. This place ended like 30 minutes ago. It was like 11:30 and people were still doing karaoke.
I know. Oh, that was fun.
It was fun. I had a good time.
10 out of 10
This is
would
one of my
recommend.
best birthdays I've ever had. Hello, this is it.
Is it better than the year when it was for your 25th birthday and I accidentally bought you a 24 balloon?
Actually, that wasn't great. You didn't even come out with me.
I know. Because I had to Photoshop the pictures that I fucked up.
And then the next day, it was like, I don't know. I guess it was just a group we had. It wasn't a lively group, but I had a really good birthday last year. My girlfriend did some like, she surprised me with brunch with my friends, and I didn't even know, and that was really nice. And we had a party at my house.
And then we
Then we did laser tag, and I won. It was amazing.
You did. You fucking tore it up
I've
on
had
that
really
floor.
good birthdays so far.
Yeah, look at
Except
you go.
25 wasn't great.
Yeah. Well, that was because it was fish those
company you
bitches
keep,
out.
okay?
Yeah. You are the company you keep. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Okay, so a side note. I brought my disposable camera to your birthday. Totally fucking forgot it. I left it here.
Oh shit!
Remember I took
Did
the
you
pictures? I have it. It's in my
Did
bag
you take
right now.
any videos?
Yes, I haven't watched them yet.
Don't do it. Wait till your YouTube
Like 30
thing.
years old. Yeah. So I took these pictures, and then I had to go get other photos developed. So I took like the film rolls I had, and then I had one disposable camera. Now the disposable cameras these days, it's pretty much just Fujifilm or like something if you find it at the fucking thrift store.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I found one at my parents' house,
I love that.
and it was a Kodak, and I was like, they don't make these anymore.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, why is the disposable camera here? That means like it hasn't been developed. So I was like, okay,
Did you develop your parents' pictures?
I was like, let me take my tight little ass to Walmart. Also, nobody does 1 hour photo anymore, so you have to at least by us. Like, I guess I could come to like Center City and figure it out there, but like it's a little bit more expensive, and I don't need them right now. And I took a couple rolls of film, and then that disposable camera that I found at my parents' house, and I went to Walmart, sent them away. They have to send it to New York. They get processed in New York. Then they have to send it back. Yeah, it takes over a week to get
Why don't they do
the
1 hour
pictures back.
photo anymore? Oh my god, because everyone's digital.
Everybody's digital, and it cost more to keep that machine and the workers to do 1 hour photo, it costs more to keep that in the store than the money it's making.
Sorry if you guys hear me like continuously
slurping that beer, baby. What are we sipping, honey?
I am sipping Mango Cart by Golden Road. It is really good.
This
Shout
can
out
is
to my roommate.
It's adorable,
right?
Okay,
I'm
sorry.
about to fall off this chair.
Sarah's sitting on a stool.
With a pillow.
Say that 10 times fast.
Sarah's sitting on a stool. 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 Sarah's sitting on a stool.
Okay, we're good. Thank you. We got the title of this episode, and that's all we need.
People would literally clickbait that. Sarah's sitting on a stool. They'd be like, what the fuck?
Click right the fuck off. Anyway, back to my photo story.
Yeah.
So I get the pictures back. I get 3 altogether. And I know it's on the 2. No, I didn't know it was on the 2. So this was like kind of a surprise. I knew it was on the 1 because I knew it was going to be pictures of like we took here when we had the eggplant and you were making soup. And then I had
why
photos.
was I making soup in the soup of the dead summer? Okay?
I don't know, but it smelled really good. And then I had another roll and I was afraid of what was on it because I think the last time I used it was like with my ex at my birthday.
Oh, no.
But then I remembered it jammed and it didn't work. So there were
no
pictures
God.
of him on there. Thank God.
I don't know who that is, but
Who is she? Beyonce. And then the disposable camera. So I'm looking through the pictures of the ones that I took and I'm like, oh, these are cute. They're cool. They're groovy. And then I start looking at the ones in the roll that I thought was from my birthday with my ex. And it wasn't that. It was from 2013.
Oh.
It's like me and Gabby in her old car. And
I love that.
I don't have facial hair. And
Oh,
no,
shit.
it must have been, when did we move in? We moved in 2014.
yeah.
So it was the year before that. So I like did not look like myself in any of these pictures. I was
You
like,
always have a mid-year crisis. You're like, gotta change my look.
everybody tells me that Risa, like it blows her mind how many times I look like a different fucking person. So can't wait for me to change it up next time. What's it gonna be?
I was going through Trisha's pictures yesterday. I'm a creep. We were setting up a Tinder for her. It didn't work.
Okay.
But I saw you send her pictures of a guy that looks just like you.
What?
Yes.
When?
I don't know. It's this guy that looks just like you.
I sent her a picture of that?
Or maybe she sent it to you.
Was it recent?
I don't know.
Oh, we'll have to talk about that off mic. It might have been old because there was a picture going around Twitter and everybody thought it was me. It was somebody smoking a cigarette out of a recorder, like a flute recorder, and it looks
this
just
one
like
was
me.
it was like I think it's a straight man, but he like had like your beard, your hair.
Get out of here. Give me my identity, straight man.
Okay.
They're coming for my gay agenda. Anyway, so I get those pictures. I'm like, oh, this is cool. So I send some to Gabby. All the pictures are blurry. It's from when I went to Baltimore to go see Miranda Sings before Miranda Sings was Miranda Sings.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And then I look at the other pictures and I'm like, I don't recognize any of the people. And there's a photo. This is the disposable one I found at my parents'.
Oh, okay.
But I didn't recognize any of the people. There's pictures of streets and I didn't recognize the streets. Then I was like, I have to go talk to somebody because like I just paid like $11 for this.
And I don't think they're mine.
Yeah. So I put them back and then I was like, wait, I saw somebody in these photos and it didn't look like they were from this decade. So I start going through them again and I'm like, oh my God, this was my brother's camera when my brother went to Hurricane Katrina.
Wow.
Back in 2005.
That's crazy.
So I'm flipping through the pictures and I get to the last 5 and apparently my grubby little hands got a hold of the camera and had a photo shoot and there's pictures of me
I love that
and
for you.
Mark.
Yes,
when he came to visit us, we had to have been 12. What was it, 2005?
Yeah.
He went whenever Hurricane Katrina happened. It was so fucking weird, and I was like, wow, like nobody's seen these pictures. So I'm gonna post those pictures somewhere. They also like the colors are all fucked up because I guess the film hasn't been. It sat in my parents' house or basement for what 13 years.
Yeah.
14 years.
Oh shit.
Holy moly.
Who are these people?
That's what
I thought you were gonna say like you fucking dipped into like a time warp. I was
right.
gonna like
That would be crazy.
I was like,
well, I'm just so confused because it sat like my parents have a junk drawer and they clean it all the time because my mom likes to like organize it. Like there's still shit in it, but it's organized. So she like shuffled that camera around and it just kind of became part of the drawer. Like it wasn't like what the fuck's on that camera. It's just like, oh, it's home. Like it's just gonna stay in here for 14 years.
oh shit,
How crazy.
Since Hurricane Katrina.
Well, we moved, so it would have been since 2007. We're going to dive into our stories, but before that, I do have an article.
You have an article?
But before the article, I just want to say, #not sponsored, but I used a new mouthwash.
Me and Jonathan had like an hour conversation about this mouthwash.
It's so good. And this is not sponsored, but is definitely worth the $12 that you have to pay for
I
it.
paid $14.
Oh, you got that city tax, girl. I paid
it's called
$12.
Smart Mouth,
It's
right?
called Smart Mouth, I believe. I think Let me check.
Yeah. Oh, it's only $9.98 at Target.
Ooh, and I got a lot of nudes on my phone. I'm just trying to put myself out there again. So smart. Not sending them to anybody. I'm just like, oh yeah, I could work on some things. So Smart Mouth mouthwash. It is so fantastic. It kind of like, it might be because of the drugs that I'm on, but
Well,
it kind
it's
of
24-hour fresh breath.
Oh, yeah. No, it's bad breath prevention. Y'all should check it out. I'm sure you've seen the commercial for it. It's like the two different like things that are separated and you pour them to activate. And I thought it was like a scam. I thought it was a scheme. I was like, they just trying to get our money. But
Right.
it works for real. Because sometimes like medications give you like that stank breath. And I mean, to me, it works wonders
Blunts, it
because
does that to me.
I don't want anybody to fucking talk to me. So I'm just like, hey, like that fucking episode of SpongeBob. All right, so now that that's out of the way, if you guys want bonus content, patreon.com/esoteric oddities. We've got new content coming out. Did you guys know that? It's not just like, yeah. And if you sign up now for just $5 a month, you get access to not just the new episodes we're going to be putting out, but you get access to all of our previous episodes we have been putting out. And we've got comments of new people who are on there listening to our old episodes. And it's just like a really fun time over there. So patreon.com/esoteric oddities. Any dollar amount would help. And if you just want to support the show, we greatly appreciate it. Your hands up? What?
Hello? You're going to have to edit this out.
Okay.
I had an amazing idea.
Okay.
We should...
Ooh. And if you guys want to hear what I just bleeped out, head on over to patreon.com/esoteric oddities because they're going to find out something big very soon. Also, reviews, 5-star reviews are greatly appreciated. For those of y'all who are giving us reviews, we greatly appreciate it. It's not just to make us feel like our dicks are big, which they are, but it helps us out with the algorithm a lot. It suggests our show for other people, and it would help us keep moving the show and keep growing this dope ass family of weirdos that we have. Speaking of weirdos,
I'm literally laughing because before Jonathan was telling me a story and he was like, 2 girls just like us. And I was like, yep, just like us.
Well, what I meant was like 2 girls and they do what we do.
Yeah, of course.
Our dicks are bigger. Okay, so this has been going around Twitter. By the time this comes out, because if y'all didn't know, we actually like pre-record about a week or like a little bit more than a week in advance. And so this, you may have already heard of this, but I don't give a fuck. This article was written by David Moy from the Huffington Post, and it is titled "Person Wearing TV Torments Virginia Town by Leaving TV on Porches."
He was wearing a TV?
Yeah, do you need a minute to like dissect
TVs?
that? I'm going to read that one more time. Okay. Person wearing TV torments Virginia town by leaving TVs on porches. Don't worry, I'm going to get into it. So again, this is from the Huffington Post, basically verbatim. Things are getting weird in Henrico County, Virginia. Real weird. It seems like many residents have been visited by a strange person wearing a television set on their head.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Who has been leaving vintage TVs on their porches since Sunday. At least 60 people have been subjected to the bizarre antics, which witnesses say are being done by a guy dressed in a jumpsuit with a TV for a head. Now, there's also Ring, you know, the where you can get like the Ring doorbell footage.
I have it.
Oh, okay, love that. So people have video footage of him doing this.
Oh shit!
And he like gives like a thumbs up to the thing. So it's literally just a guy in a jumpsuit. He has a TV on his head, like he carved out a hole where it's like a tube television, and he's just dropping off other tube television. I love how they say it's vintage,
right?
Like a big ass fucking tube television on the people's porches. So here's a quote.
You just got TV'd.
Like, what the fuck? Love that. Quote, "It's the weirdest thing. He squats down, puts the TV there, and walks off. It's really weird." Resident Adrian Garner told Richmond station WWBT, quote, "My first reaction was, did we order this? Not in an Amazon box. It was just kind of strange," end quote. Jim Brooksbank, who found an old tube-style 13-inch TV on his porch, finds the prank sort of funny, but can't figure out the purpose. Maybe it's like an art installation. He's kind of like Banksy. What if it is Banksy?
Oh, I think you're onto something.
Oh my God. Basically, everybody's just kind of saying it's a senseless prank, and it's just this guy who goes around. They say no crime has been committed, but the police are urging people to call the Henrico County Police at 804-501-5000 if you do see this TV man. Now, there is video footage I'll be posting somewhere from people's Ring things. But here's the thing. The you cannot get rid... First off, where did he get 60 tube televisions?
Right?
That's what I want to know.
Maybe he works at a TV store.
Maybe. And number two, you can't really throw those out. You have to... Did you know that, right? Like, trash people, if you leave them curbside, tube
they won't
televisions
take
will
them.
not. So you have to, like, go. You have to pay to throw them out.
Yeah.
I don't really know what that entails or, like, what the situation is wherever you live. But you can't... It's hard to get rid of these. So what if it's a guy who's just trying to throw out all 60 TVs he has in his house, and this is how he's doing it? That's the right...
I mean, yeah, that's true.
he got
He's
rid of them.
wearing one.
And now it's someone else's problem to figure out how the fuck to throw out the tube TV.
Yeah, but if he has money to have 60 TVs in his house.
Yeah, but he didn't buy the, like, who knows how he got them.
You're right.
He
You're
could've
right.
just
Maybe
fucking
he was
found
like,
them.
"Hi, you remember that letter they were leaving at Fairmount?" Maybe he was like, "Hi, give me all your TVs, donate them here. I'll dispose of them." And then everyone was like, "Fuck yeah, we don't want to pay." And then now he has all these TVs, and now he's doing our installation.
Hold the phone. Sarah brought this up months ago on this very podcast. It was like a letter that was going around. It actually was like buzzing around Reddit, and it was in Fairmount in Philly. And it was, what the fuck was it about? And
It was
isn't it in
like-
September? It's coming up. Yeah?
No, it already passed.
Oh, well, why didn't we go? I thought it was September.
No, it already passed.
September.
Maisie went.
September is the...
She even DM'd me, you, and Kiko and was like, "Hi, let's go to this."
No, I know, but okay. I'm
And
getting
y'all
that.
were all like crickets.
Oh, was it? Oh, I was very busy. It was clearly vacuuming my room that day.
Sorry, I need to go vacuum my room now.
I was thinking of the date that everybody's going to go run at Area 51. Please don't do that. It's fucking stupid. All right. So I think we should probably dive into our topics right now.
Let's do it. Oh.
Our topic is strange disappearances, which was suggested by my cousin Frankie on Facebook.
Thank you, cousin Frank.
Yes. Thank you, Frankie. Ew, I hate that I just fucking said that.
I hate that I called him Frank.
Frank. Thank you, Frankie. So make sure you follow us there because we like to hear what you want to hear. And actually, our next few episodes are suggested things from y'all. So if you have something you want to suggest, go ahead and suggest it. So Sarah has 2 stories. I've got 1 story. So we're going to do the old sandwich bitch. And I'm going to be that creamy filling. And you're going to be the stale bread.
So I'm going first.
That's how sandwiches work if you're going to be the bread.
All right. Let's jump right in. So UFOs have fascinated rock musicians for some time.
Rock musicians?
Yeah.
Okay.
They've sung about flying saucers and little green men for decades. One of the more serious... What? Because I'm hitting my hand like this?
No, because wait, what song about aliens?
You know...
I
Kiss
can't
has written about aliens.
What song? Okay, David Bowie. I'll give you David Bowie.
He has written about aliens.
I think David Bowie may have been an alien.
Led Zeppelin.
Okay.
The Rolling Stones.
You're just naming bands now. Go ahead. Just go. You're full of shit.
No, I'm really not. Look it up right now.
All right. I'll look it up. You keep
Rock
talking.
bands that... And
rock band?
It was like Woodstock era that people were like...
Oh, my parents just went to Woodstock. How cute.
I know. I saw that. I love them for that. Anyway... one of the more serious takes on aliens was written by Jim Sullivan. He was a talented but obscure singer and songwriter.
Okay. We got CCR. They did. Okay. Yes, they did. Who else did? The Ramones. Okay, I see you. Wow, that song's straight up called 00 UFO. Can't be more in your face.
All of
than
them are
that.
called like UFO aliens. Like they're not.
Billy Thorpe. Okay, I see. Elton John. Okay, his says I've seen the saucers. Okay. Come Sail Away. That's not about UFOs.
Yes, it is.
Is it?
It's about an alien abduction.
Styx. Get out of here. Domo Origato. Let me see what number 1 was. David Bowie. I called that.
You did. Okay,
I'm sorry.
None of
continue.
these I've listed were.
Yeah, you were like the Rolling
But I knew
Stones.
it was.
I knew it was in there somewhere.
Jim Sullivan. By the way, I'll be listing all of my sources for where I get my information.
Yeah. In the show notes.
In the show notes.
As always.
I got this little clip from Wikipedia because I couldn't find anything on his earlier life.
Love the clip.
Jim Sullivan grew up in the Linda Vista area of San Diego, California, where his Irish-American parents had moved from Nebraska to work in the defense industry.
Love that. The dense defense.
I don't know why I said dense.
Here to defend.
Jim Jim was a very tall guy. He played as a quarterback on his high school football team. I tried to research where he went to high school, but I couldn't find it.
That's so fun. We don't need specifics.
According to the self-written linear notes of his first LP, he grew up in a government housing project with a bunch of other Okies and Arkies, which means people from Arkansas and Oakland.
I fucking hate that.
Jim decided to play music after listening to local blues groups. He married and played guitar in a local rock band called The Survivors with his sister-in-law, Kathy Doran. He and a friend bought a bar eventually near their college, but it lost money, and in 1968, he moved with his wife Barbara and young child to Los Angeles.
LA, baby. The city of angles. We got obtuse rubber goose, green moose, guava juice.
Barbara Sullivan, that's his wife.
Okay.
She worked for Capitol Records, and Sullivan wrote songs and performed in the increasingly prestigious clubs in the Los Angeles area. In particular, he became established at the Raft Club in Malibu, where he became friends with Hollywood figures such as Lee Majors, Lee Marvin, and Harry Dean Stanton. I don't know any of these people.
All the Lees.
But that's fine.
And Tommy Lee also was. So the Raft Club?
Yeah.
You just bring your own raft?
Yeah.
Can't get in without a raft.
You can't.
Show me your dinghy and I'll give you a free drink.
Slinging.
Oh,
What?
baby. That's the VIP. You got to enter through the rear of the bar, if you know what I mean.
Oh, yeah.
That's my butthole.
Yeah,
That's
I
okay.
figured that.
I just wanted to make that crystal clear. Back to UFOs. Let's get to this. Guys, you need to all really keep on track. Like, you guys need to stay on subject. Thank you.
Yeah, what are you guys doing? Fuck.
Getting us distracted.
He appeared as an extra in the movie Easy Rider and performed on the Jose Feliciano television show. His friends contributed the funding that allowed him to record an album of his songs with leading
Oh, that's cute. Wow.
with leading Los Angeles session musicians, keyboard player Don Randy, drummer Earl Palmer. The bass player was Jimmy Bond.
Jimmy Bond.
Yeah.
I acted like I knew who that was. I didn't. I just repeated. And
Who was also the record's arranger and co-producer.
So question. Okay, he has really good friends who are helping him pay for that.
Yeah.
Why doesn't his wife it was his wife or was it his sister?
Yeah, has a record deal help him, right?
No, she doesn't have a record deal. She works
she works at a record place.
She works at Capitol Records of all fucking places.
Yeah.
Hilary.
I'm not really sure why she didn't, but I'm going to get there.
Semantics.
I'm going to get there. After Nick Bennett at Capitol turned down the opportunity to release the record, it was issued by Sullivan's friend Al Dobbs on a small record label called Moni, a label he set up for that purpose. So they wouldn't let him.
The record label didn't?
Yeah.
Okay.
Capitol was like, we don't really like this. Like, it's not really our style.
Ew. If I was Barbara, I'd be like, that's my freaking husband.
But this small record label, Moni,
that basically was made just so he could make this song.
Yeah.
Okay.
Was like, yeah, we'll do it. So the album UFO was released in 1969 and featured Sullivan's songs in a style bending folk, rock, and country that has been compared to Fred Neil, Tim Hardin, Gene Clark, and Joe South, with arrangements in the style of David Axelrod.
Duh.
This woman, Jennifer Moss, she wrote an article about Jim and defines UFO as, in her words, I quote, a slice of American pop music filtered from the murky depths of Los Angeles by way of Deep South.
Wow. That really paints a picture. I want to know what that sounds like. She's selling it. Who was that? Kate Moss?
Yeah.
Jennifer Moss?
She's saying
You
that
said
listening.
yeah.
Jennifer Moss. Who's that? Kate Moss. Listening to the song, she says she can hear a hippie. However, the tune is actually quite catchy. You can hear the entire album at Light in the Attic, which is a site that re-releases hard music to find that was like released in the 60s.
Oh shit. I will have to wait. What is that called? I'm writing that down.
Light in the Attic.
Light in the Attic. Okay, love that.
So here's some lyrics from Jim.
Wait, Jim Sullivan?
Yeah.
Oh, he's the. I think this website might just be all his stuff.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's not. Mac DeMarco's on here. What the fuck?
Oh wow, I didn't know
But he's the
that.
first one who pops up. It looks like he might have been. Oh, I don't want to read anything. I'm not reading it.
Don't do it.
Okay.
So here's some lyrics from Jim. He says, shaking like a leaf on the desert heat, his daddy's got a bog that's hard to beat. Bought me a ticket, got a front row seat. I'm checking out with a glassy eye, looking at the sun dancing through the sky. Did he come by UFO?
Or did he die?
Oh.
It sounded like a fucking freestyle, bitch. Love that.
So after not making it as far in LA, Jim and his family moved to Nashville.
That's a good idea. They have record labels. I thought wasn't that where Capitol Records was? I thought maybe not. There's some record.
I don't think so.
There's a like Nashville is like the hang on, I'm gonna look it up.
But he left when he went to Nashville. He left his wife and son in California.
It's RCA is what I was thinking.
Oh, okay.
Oh wait, hold on. Oh, there is a Capitol Records Nashville.
But it's not like the original one in Los Angeles.
Right. I think it was in 1991 is what this is saying on Wikipedia. Listen, I don't know shit about shit.
Me neither.
But I do know that they're closed today.
Oh, look at that.
That's what it's telling me.
So Jim set out on an adventure.
I'm nervous about what's going to happen to... Okay.
After Jim went on this adventure, they found his car abandoned. Everything Jim had was still in his vehicle, parked 26 miles outside the town of Santa Rosa, New Mexico, but he was nowhere to be found.
New Mexico?
Yeah.
You know it's in New Mexico?
Yeah, Area 51.
Okay.
Some reports said that Jim was pulled over by police because he was swerving back and forth between lanes. Later, the officer stated that Jim was just tired from his travels, and instead of giving him a ticket, they just gave him directions to the nearest motel, which was called La Mesa Motel, where it's been verified that he did check in here.
Oh, okay. Okay. Do they have a date for when he checked in? Because what if he checked in there? Okay, sorry,
I don't have a date.
I'm getting ahead of myself.
But bear with me.
Okay.
Still, there was also reports that he was questioned by a local family as to why his car was parked either on or near their property. The family in question were the Oddities, who were often said to have a local mafia ties. Whether or not there was a confrontation between the two that led
right.
bad is unclear.
Huh. Interesting.
But there was a car filled with belongings that had no driver. Even his 12-string guitar was left behind. As someone who dabbles in playing music, it's unlikely that they'd leave that behind. So it was almost
just
like
all
he
his shit
vanished in like plain sight.
Huh.
So this is a quote by Matt Sullivan, Jim's son. He says, with or without his disappearance, there's something in those lyrics that is incredibly mysterious and eerie. One thing that one of Jim's friends pointed out was that the guitar was left in the car. If Jim was going to disappear, that would have been one thing that he had taken. Because wherever he was in the world, he could always stand on a street corner and make money playing the guitar. Right. Search parties were conducted by the local authorities and Jim's family. They couldn't find any trace of him. And to this day, it's almost as if Jim disappeared into thin air. For a time, investigators believed that a badly decomposed body found in the desert might have belonged to Jim, but after extensive forensics, it was ruled out. If you look up these lyrics for the UFO album, they're really weird. It's like him saying I'm gonna leave my family and get abducted, and it's really crazy. But that's the story of Jim Sullivan.
I've never heard of that. I fucking love that.
Yeah.
That's so weird. And then it just kind of and then when you go back and re-listen to the album, it sets a whole different tone. That's how, this is a sadder version of that, but the song Rehab by Amy Winehouse,
yeah,
that listening to it at the time was oh, this is kind of funny, it's stupid, she just wants to get fucked up. And then when she died, you go back and you listen to it and it's just oh my god, honey, you need a friend.
She was writing about her experience and what she was going through.
But the thing is that when they're gone, either dead in Amy's case or abducted in this case, is it just changes how everything was.
Yeah. And
then you go back and you listen, you have a whole different perspective. That's so I want to listen to it right now.
When you look up or research Jim Sullivan, there's a lot of people will say he literally wrote about his own disappearance somehow, because he literally wrote about it. He wrote about how he was going to leave his family and disappear, but people were saying it wasn't premeditated because he didn't even take his guitar, which is unlikely.
Or, well, here's another thing is I don't know, since we don't have that much information.
Yeah, there could be literally anyone that came and
well, that, or it could have been by choice. It could have been
That's true.
he wanted to leave his family, maybe you don't know what's going on behind closed doors, or maybe he something happened in the industry and he chose that this isn't what I want to do, so he maybe on his own decided to go out and leave. Maybe he thought, so he made all those songs and shit. Maybe he knew the only way for his music
Oh, to like
to
get
get
great.
big is
Yeah.
if he disappeared in a weird way, which is kind of true because here we are talking about it.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Especially in 1969, there's just like this giant pool of all these people who are artists, and it only got more like
Dangerous.
not dangerous, but there was only more artists coming out.
Right.
So it just kind of like became this big pool of people who have names, but everybody's nameless in the end of things, and we all die alone. Sorry, I threw that right in there.
Wow. Okay. Hi.
So what do you think? Do you think he got abducted by aliens? What if he did? Like, what if
I don't know.
he summoned aliens to come and abduct him?
I don't know. It's just like there could have been someone who like pulled him out of his car. Like, so I said that to say the like strange disappearances is always hard because it's a lot of like
The speculation, but that's what's
yeah,
fun
like,
about
they got
it.
lost in the woods, and you're like, okay, well, you got lost in the woods, like
What else is new?
right. Well, like obviously, like something's going to happen, and then there's like other things where like people they're shipwrecks and then they get lost, and I'm like, well, obviously, like you drowned in the ocean.
Well, isn't it obvious? Well, I don't know because we did that Shark Week thing, and the people who got left in the ocean, like, what happens there?
That's true. You're right. You're right.
I'm opening the UFO album in another tab, so I listen to it. I love it. Wow, interesting, crazy. I kind of, not that I hope he got abducted by aliens, but that'd be crazy.
It sure was.
What would you do if you were abducted by aliens?
I think I would get probed, but I think I already was before.
No, not what would they do to you? I mean, like, what do you... I could have said
I'm like,
that.
yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I don't know.
I think I would get probed. I mean, look at me. I'm young. I'm tight. Like, they want a piece of this ass. I'm tan right now. It's all good.
With like the worst tan lines. I don't know. I think I would be really freaked out because I already know that this stuff is real. So I'd be like,
Oh, yeah, Bob Lazar.
I think I would be like so wrapped up in the fact that I was right about it being real.
Oh, that's scary. I don't know what I would do.
I knew it.
I
And
feel
they'd be like,
I don't... Is that what they're
and I'd be
doing?
like, I knew it.
They'd be like, oh, God.
They would hate me. They would return me really
That's what
quickly.
I was going to say that. You would piss them off.
You already know. I would
my
talk too much. I
God.
would sing like
They'd be like, wow, the people on this planet are really tiny.
true. Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. All right. So on to my case. Now, this is a case that I had not heard of before. So there's a YouTuber who unfortunately has left YouTube named Kaylee Elise, and she did a series on this, and it was through her that I first found this case, and then I kind of tried to do deep dive research. However, there's not too much info on it, which raises some eyebrows in some theories. So this is actually the disappearance of a couple people. So let's just jump into it. In September of 2005, Yi Hwa Ho, who went by Eve, was a 16-year-old student just starting her junior year in Canada with her friend, 16-year-old Philip Sitt. Both were students at Harvard Collegiate in downtown Toronto. Toronto. People don't like when you say Toronto.
Why?
Because I just think it's Toronto. I think there's too much emphasis on that last
Why can't
T.
you say Toronto?
I guess you could. But
Toronto.
Toronto. I think it's
Why
Toronto.
did they even put this third T in there?
I don't know. Let's.
Toronto.
Are you?
Is it two? Oh.
It's two T's. TT.
You should have saw me blowing up these fucking happy birthday things. I was like, where does this go? Like,
Did you
what?
blow it up by mouth?
No, I have a little.
Oh, a little jerker offer. Okay, so here we are, 2005. These two 16-year-olds are students at Harvard Collegiate in downtown Toronto. So the summer leading up to their junior year, Eve and Philip had been hanging out with Eve's 17-year-old boyfriend, Jackie Lee, and 17-year-old Kevin Lim. So we've got 4 people here. So Eve and Jackie are dating. Kevin Lim is friends with Jackie, but in one report, I read that Eve and Kevin were childhood friends, but I only read it in one report.
Oh, so you don't know if it's actually true.
Right. So all we know is that the 4 of these people are like friends, right? So on Friday, September 23rd, 2005, Philip had gone out with some friends and came home late. Then, in the early morning hours of Saturday, September 24th, 2005, Philip told his family that he was going out to meet some unidentified friends. But hours passed, day turned to night, and by Sunday morning, Philip had not returned home.
Ooh.
When he was reported missing to the police, they treated his disappearance as a runaway case, and the investigation was not exactly thorough. 11 months passed, and Philip Sitt was still missing. So this is almost a full year. The following summer, on August 14th, 2006, Eve's boyfriend, Jackie, who is now 18 years old, told his mother that he planned on sitting at home and playing video games all day. This was because Jackie was tired because he had just recently returned to Canada from a trip at Hong Kong where he was seeing his brother. At 7:30 p.m., Jackie's mother called him, asking him to run an errand for her. Jackie picked up the phone. He was like, yeah, I'll do it. I'm not going to do it right now. I'm going to do it a little bit later, but I'll get a dumb hum. It's fine.
It's fine.
So at 7:45 p.m., for an unknown reason, Eve, who's now 17 years old, used Jackie's phone to call one of her childhood friends, Chris Yao. Chris is a female. Eve called Chris and was just like, hey, let's meet up at the Eden Center Mall in downtown Toronto tonight. Chris was like, okay, cool, sounds good. But when Chris Yao went to the mall, Eve never showed up. And when Jackie's mother returned home, her son was gone. His clothes and suitcase were still there. At the exact same time, 18-year-old Kevin Lim told his grandmother that he was going to walk down the street to a convenience store for a drink, and he asked her not to lock the door behind him as he was going to be right back. But hours passed, and Kevin did not return. That night, Eve's mother, Jackie's mother, and Kevin's family called the Toronto police. So now these 4 people who were friends, one of them goes missing, and 11 months later, the other 3 go missing. All 3 of them go missing. So now there's 4 people missing, and nobody knows what happened to any of them, right? But the police had knowledge of something that had just happened 5 days prior, which wasn't fully released to the public.
Ooh.
So 5 days before Eve, Jackie, and Kevin disappeared, on August 9th, 2006, skeletal remains had been found in Scarborough County. A forensic examination was performed, and the remains belonged to missing teen Philip Sitt.
Ooh.
So 11 months after he went missing, his remains were found. 5 days later, his other friends go missing. Now, they didn't release all that information to the public about his remains being identified when they were found.
Why?
So I'm not sure. Investigators did not release the cause of death to protect the investigation, but declared it a homicide. So they're like, we can't tell you how he died because this investigation is open, but we can tell you we know he was murdered. And believed Philip Sitt had been killed at the location where his remains were found. His remains were found near the side of a rural highway in York Region, approximately 30 miles away from his home in Scarborough, where Eve, Jackie, and Kevin also disappeared from just 5 days after Philip's remains were found. But the trio had vanished before the discovery of Philip's remains had been publicly identified, like I said before.
This is sketchy.
But when police connected the trio to Philip Sitt, they believed Eve, Jackie, and Kevin may have known something about Philip's death, though the trio was not considered suspects. So the complicated thing was because when all this information's coming out, the case is still open. So they can't say why. So like the missing pieces, and they're keeping it withheld because...
Yeah, but that makes no sense that they're missing and they had something to do with it.
Right. So, well, they think because they were friends with him, they think they didn't say that they had something to do with it. They think they might have knowledge of something that may have happened.
Okay.
Or like something that could lead them to a lead.
Right.
So the police originally considered the trio all as runaways, but those initial thoughts changed upon investigation. Are you ready for it to get weird?
Right.
Eve was rarely anywhere without her cell phone. This was 2006, so it wasn't smartphones or anything, but this was when texting was really big and shit. She had her cell phone when she disappeared. Jackie also took his phone, but since going missing, there had been no activity on either of their phones. Kevin, however, had left his phone behind when he stepped out to get a drink at the store from down the street from his apartment. But both Kevin and Jackie had taken a very small amount of money. Essentially, they were saying Kevin only took enough money for like a drink and a snack from a convenience store.
Okay.
And he had left his wallet at home. And Jackie had only taken like a few like dollars with him. Like I said, Kevin had left the rest of his wallet behind. So none of these friends, the trio, had access to a car. None had taken extra clothes with them, and they kind of just left everything as it was, like as if they expected to return home by the end of the night. Kevin's phone and Eve's computer were taken by police and searched for evidence, but there was nothing out of the ordinary found. None of the trio's bank accounts have had any activity since they went missing, and there was also no online activity for them either. They seemed to have vanished into thin air.
See?
So police struggled to find a starting place for the investigation. The families were very cooperative with the Toronto police, but there was a language barrier. They all of their family spoke Chinese, and this is in Canada, so the family also struggled to speak on camera. It's a cultural thing, and they're also very shy, so it was hard for them to... They were doing what they could.
Yeah.
And this only caused further difficulties when they were trying to locate the 3 missing teens. So Constable Scott Mills stated, quote, "We've either got foul play or I would like to look on the hopeful side. For one reason or another, they're scared and hiding, but we don't know," end quote. Well, yeah, I know.
What?
So the families joined the Toronto Crime Stoppers' first social media outreach program and made YouTube videos to bring attention to the case, stating, "We hope you're all alive and well. Your families are very worried about you. Please call us." That's not just the only thing they said. It's just summing it up.
Yeah.
But despite their efforts, there was not much news coverage and no tips came in. Now, this might be because students at Harvard Collegiate knew very little about the group. In an interview with the National Post, a classmate named Samantha Burns said they were not well known, and quote, "The school cares, but it depends on who. Not too many people knew Eve. Nobody seems to care. The school is not making a big deal about it," end quote.
That's weird.
The journalist, the same journalist, spoke to Eve's mother, Carmen Wu, through an interpreter. Carmen was frustrated by the apparent lack of awareness surrounding the investigation of her daughter's disappearance. She believed her daughter and Jackie were kidnapped by, quote, "a group of men," end quote. Despite reports of them hanging out, Carmen stated Eve did not know Philip Sitt well and does not believe her daughter's disappearance has anything to do with his murder. So Carmen did not receive an update on the investigation after police visited the family's downtown apartment and seized Eve's computer and some letters she had received from friends. And again, after that seizure, what do they call it? After they seized that, I don't know.
Yeah, they seized it.
After they searched her computer and shit, nothing really came of it. Eve's father lives in China, but according to Carmen, Eve doesn't speak to her father, and Eve would not know how to get in contact with him if she changed her mind.
Right.
Investigators then spoke to Chris Yao, who, like I said before, was the last person to speak to Eve at 7:45 the night the trio went missing. So this is Chris said this. She said, quote, "Eve is not someone who would just run away. At first I thought it was like a joke. I thought she was just screwing around like everybody else. But after we realized that it's real, she's really missing," end quote. So the contrary to Eve's mother's statement, Chris said, quote, "I think there's a connection because Philip, Jackie, and maybe Kevin were best friends too," end quote. There was also a little bit of a language barrier in that interview as well. But Eve's mother was saying Eve did not know Philip Sitt, but if she did, she didn't know him well. And then
How?
Chris,
They were all friends.
and then Chris, her friend, is just like, "I didn't know Philip Sitt well, but I know that Eve knew Philip Sitt well."
Yeah.
So, and I think it has something to do with this. So Jackie Lee's family, Kevin Lim's family, and Philip Sitt's family did not want to comment to the National Post regarding the investigation. To this day, Philip Sitt's murder remains open, unsolved, and nobody has seen or heard from Eve Ho, Jackie Lee, or Kevin Lim since their disappearance in 2006. Weird, right?
How?
So there's also a lot of speculation going around. Again, this is just speculation that I was reading on Web Sleuths and Reddit, that there was kind of a racial bias in this because they were all Asian and that the Toronto police weren't really taking it seriously and that it was just a little confusing and it was hard. And I don't know if these are just
But like
allegations
they're
for people.
people.
Right, I totally understand that. But here's another weird thing. Now, the parents had made those videos with Crime Stoppers in 2006 when they went missing. Well, for some reason, at some point after 2017, all of those videos are gone off the internet and cannot be found. Bitch, I searched for any of these Crime Stopper videos.
What do you think could have happened?
I have some theories. Before I get into the theories, I just think it's how fucking bizarre is it that this case is still open?
Right.
But all of the Crime Stopper videos got deleted sometime after 2017.
It's
11
weird.
years
It's
later,
bizarre.
like there's enough room on the internet for those videos to live,
Right?
and you
Why
want
were
to
they
solve this.
deleted?
Why are they all gone? All of them are fucking gone.
That's sketchy.
It's fucking weird.
So what are the Crime Stopper videos?
It was the parents. It's like Carmen's parents and Jackie's parents, I believe. They are just I can't give you a full description because I didn't watch them. But I saw a clip of them in Kaylee Elisa's video, and I'm going to leave a link to her video because she took clips of them, but there's no audio.
Right.
And she made her video public in 2017, and that's how I put together the connection because she linked it
Okay.
in her article, in her show note things. So when I went to go click that to watch it, to do my own research, it's all gone. All of them are deleted, and I couldn't find them anywhere.
That's sketchy.
There is almost no information on this case at all on the internet.
How?
I don't know. So let's get into some theories. Again, I just want to say this. The case is still open, so there's not much available information because the police are withholding information, especially Philip's cause of death, because, you know, if they find somebody, that person would know details that have not been released to the public. You don't need me to fucking explain it. You get it. Another thought is, for whatever reason, again, I just want to remind you, police say that they do not consider Eve, Jackie, or Kevin suspects in Philip's murder, but that's not to say their possible involvement or knowledge surrounding the murder. So let's get into a couple of theories. So here's one, that they were kidnapped by some sort of gang involvement. I don't know if I believe that.
No.
There's really not that much that goes into this. It was brought up a couple of times online, so I just, wanted to bring it up. It's possible, I suppose, or kidnapped/killed. Another theory is that Eve, Jackie, and Kevin were kidnapped by somebody. It wasn't gang related, and it also had nothing to do with Philip.
Right.
Now, here's my thing, is why the fuck would they have gotten kidnapped? Because Eve and Jackie, they were together in the same location. They were at Jackie's mom's house, at Jackie's house. But then Kevin, who lives not in the same area, he vanished as well.
Right.
Going out to the store, walking down the street. So my thing,
And they weren't like, it's not like they were like, hey, let's all hang out.
yeah. What was that?
I have no idea. I told you I've been hearing weird shit.
It sounded like something, like a can opening, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't know what was up with that.
That sounded like a can of beer opening in the kitchen.
Yeah, I know. Should we go look?
No. I don't know. That doesn't make sense to me. If the three of them were kidnapped, if that's how their disappearance went, all three of them, it's related.
Also, they weren't all together.
Exactly.
The one guy went to the store. The other guy, she didn't bring her phone. Like,
that's what I'm saying, is like there's no, like, they have to have, anyway. These are just theories. So these are just theories. So another one is that they were kidnapped and or murdered by somebody involved with Philip Sitt's murder.
Yeah, but they didn't know anything.
We don't know.
Right.
Because here's the thing. Philip goes missing. 11 months later, his remains are found, identified, but not publicly identified.
You're right.
But 5 days after his remains were found, they go missing?
Yeah.
Question mark.
Yeah. No, that's
What's
sketchy.
good with that? So here's another thing, is they may have had something to do with Philip's murder and willingly had gone into hiding after hearing human remains were found. So some sources claim that Eve's friends didn't know much about her boyfriend Jackie or Kevin. So maybe for some reason or another, one person, if not the entire trio, murdered Philip in 2005. When Philip was last seen, he told his family he was going to go see friends, but he didn't tell his family what friends.
Yeah.
So it's possible that a relative or a close friend of the trio hid them or kept them in hiding so that they could flee, possibly leave the country, get away to escape. So the Toronto police actually considered this theory to be very logical. So,
really?
But again, they're grasping at straw.
Yeah,
There's nothing.
There's no.
So what are you gonna do?
Point that they're actually doing this.
It's a theory. You're an investigator. You should go after it. They did. I don't want to say they did what they had to do, because I don't know how hard they were going in on this case.
Right.
So they looked into it, and they were like, maybe the three are hiding out in Hong Kong. They were like, maybe they're in Hong Kong because Jackie's brother lived there. Eve's father lived there. So they were like, okay, there's two people there that could hide them, even though Carmen, Eve's mom, said that Eve doesn't talk to her dad,
right.
But who knows?
Yeah.
However, I don't know how plausible this is, because Jackie and Kevin did not take their passports. Both of the men's passports were found at their house, and Eve didn't have a registered passport at all.
Yeah.
However,
so it can't be.
However, that's not to say they couldn't have gotten forged documents,
True.
but that's fucking hard to do with a
Right.
passport
And you're
in
16
2006. I don't know. But if they did willingly go into hiding, why would Kevin have told his grandmother he would be right back? Why would Eve tell Chris Yao to meet her at the mall? But okay, maybe I'm going to answer my own question. Maybe they did that so there was no suspicion of the facts that they vanished. Maybe they just wanted it to look like they all disappeared. Because that's all that it looks like right now. If that's what they wanted to achieve, they fucking achieved it. Because
Yeah, but I feel like when is anyone ever that smart to be like, yeah, don't
Yeah.
bring anything because
I think you have to fucking think about that shit.
right.
If they had
But
something,
I don't know. It doesn't seem right to me. It just
obviously nothing about this case seems right, but like, doesn't that kind of make sense that if they wanted to make it look like they went missing,
they would just not bring anything.
they wouldn't bring anything, and he would tell his grandmother, "I'll be right back," but then just never come back.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Because that would, okay. All right. I answered my own question. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Here's another theory that maybe the trio themselves had nothing to do with Philip's murder, but they knew who the killer or killers were, or they had some incriminating evidence against the killer or killers. So Eve, Jackie, and Kevin, they could have feared their own safety and been like, wow, I saw what that person did to Philip.
I'm not going to do that.
They're not going to do that to me because they clearly have the power to fucking do that to me. So they fled the country in dead silence so they could never be found. That's a plausible theory.
It is.
No?
Yeah.
But again, fleeing the country is hard if you don't have, they
Have
all
a
left their
passport.
passports.
Right.
But
they would have to know someone.
they could have forged things. I don't know. And that's another thing is we don't really know details on like any of their lives.
I'm like too lazy to go missing.
I can't. It is a lot of work.
Right.
But when it comes to like life or death, like somebody was fucking killed.
Yeah,
Either
that's
they
true.
did it
yeah,
or they didn't do it, and it's
really.
it's very possible that they knew something happened.
Mm-hmm.
This is the last theory. Is I don't know if I subscribe to this, but some people think the trio had a suicide pact to keep whatever they knew quiet. But remember, the police didn't release the identity of Philip Sitt's body until after the trio had gone missing.
Right.
So you would think if it was a suicide pact, they wouldn't take that extreme until the body or the remains were identified.
That's true. Mm-hmm. And then they were like, we gotta go.
Yeah, but again, none of their bodies or remains have been found if a suicide pact was what they did.
Yeah.
So who
It's
knows?
kind of questionable.
But also,
it could be
it's
anything.
a theory. We don't know anything, so
Exactly.
it's possible. So those are my theories. Now, I want to ask you what you think, but before I do that, I want to get into something weird, another little weird thing that happened in this case. So, like I said, sometime after the spring of 2017, all of the Crime Stopper YouTube videos were disconnected. Can't find them anywhere on the internet. Don't know what that's about. That's my inner Toronto coming out. Also, back in 2007, about 6 months after they had disappeared, Toronto police called a press conference where a life-size metal sculpture of Eve was installed by Constable Scott Mills and artist Andre Moline. And this gets fucking weird. This gets really weird. So Mills instructed the artist, quote, just make sure she's nice and vibrant looking and beautiful. That's how I see her. I want her to be alive because I hope she is alive. End
How does
quote.
she even know this person?
This is Constable Scott. This is the policeman.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, it's weird. So at this press conference, the artist, Milne, I think Milne, I'm just going to call him Andre.
I love that name.
At this press conference, the artist, Andre, he says he never met the girl before crafting the life-sized steel statue, which was set up on the Canadian National Exhibition Grounds. So this is what he says, very bizarre. Quote, I don't know how accurate it is, and I'm very curious to know how I did. I'm asking for you to come back to Toronto, to the CNE, and have a look at what I made. He's addressing Eve.
No.
I'd like to know how close I was to getting you the way you are. End quote. What?
Ew,
This
sir?
wasn't like, hey, I would love for you to come back home to your family if you're out there and alive. Hey, it's okay. I
Come
know
back
you're
to
probably
me.
scared. He's just like, hey, if you're out there, I'd love for you to come and see how I did on this sculpture. I just kind of want to do a side by side and see, like, did I do that great? Because I think I probably did good, but I've never met you. Like, what? So Andre, the artist, he stood next to the statue, stating he doubts Eve is in danger.
Ooh.
Okay. So the artist also said he could fly to wherever she was and bring her back home.
What?
Neither Eve's father, who lives in China, nor her mother, Carmen, were at this press conference. And the statue of Eve stands alone in an empty exhibition ground. Intentionally, the statue of the missing girl is facing a telephone booth, which is a great segue right here, because if you have any information concerning this case, remember, it's still open from 2006. Call the Toronto Police Service 52 Division at 416-808-5200. And if you have any information on the murder of Philip Sitt, please contact York Regional Police Homicide and Missing Pearson's Bureau.
Pearson's.
1-866-876-5423, extension 7865. And that's it. There is...
So do you think they killed their friend and they were like, hi, we gotta get out, and then that police officer helped them because he was in love with that girl?
I don't think the police officer had anything to do with it. I think the constable guy, well, he didn't, the police officer wasn't weird. Andre was the artist.
Yeah, but he was like, I'm sure we could just see her anytime.
I don't know.
I could take a plane and see her right now.
No, that was the artist who said that.
Yeah, that's weird.
Fucking weird. I think maybe he was just trying to be hopeful and it just came out weird because he's an artist and artists are weird. I don't know. I worked with an artist at H&M and he refused to sit at a table. I'm dead ass serious.
Where did he sit?
He had a piece of cardboard and it was his piece of cardboard and he would put it on the ground, and he was older too. He would put it on the ground. He was so nice and he was like super cool. Like you wanted to be friends with him. And he would just sit on the floor and eat like pretzel style. He would eat pretzels, pretzel style.
Oh.
And that's just, like, I don't know. Some artists are weird like that.
Okay, sir.
Maybe that's just what it was. To be honest, I don't know what the fuck I think. I don't think there's enough information to form
anything.
Yeah. If I knew her, I feel like I would have obviously a more, I don't know. I think all of the theories are plausible.
Yeah, they could all work.
Another thing is I think it's very bizarre that there isn't much on the internet. I went on Web Sleuths and there's basically one fucking thread on Web Sleuths where people live for this shit.
Really?
And want to get to there's like one thread and it hasn't been posted on in years.
Oh, wow.
All of the links on there are disconnected because a lot of the people are sending the links that were on this Web Sleuths page were directed to the Crime Stoppers videos, which are all gone.
Oh, fuck. That's weird.
So not only is the case weird, but my question is like, why delete
Do you think it could
the
have been
videos?
a thing where like they called their parents and they're like, "Hi, we're okay. This is
That was
hiding." So maybe the parents like deleted all the videos.
Well, the parents wouldn't have deleted it. It was the Crime Stoppers who uploaded it. So Crime Stoppers would have, if the parents had
somewhere.
If the parents had anything to do with it, and they asked Crime Stoppers to delete the videos, they're fucking Crime Stoppers. They're gonna be like, "Fuck no, I'm looking into you, bitch."
Right, exactly. And they're like,
it doesn't
"I'm
work
telling
that
the
way.
truth."
So
right.
someone at Crime Stoppers deleted the videos.
That's
Why?
sketchy. Right.
Why?
Hello, at Crime Stoppers. Why did you delete the videos?
We're not coming for you.
I just want to know.
Yeah, I just want
to talk.
Constable, what's his name? Scott Mills. I literally sat there. I was sitting after work. I had his DM on Twitter, and I was like ready to type it out. And I was like, I probably shouldn't get involved like this, but I want to know. Like, there has to be details.
There's something missing or something.
There's a lot missing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's leaving you there with a big old question mark.
Wow.
So you have another one to finish this sandwich?
Okay. Bobby Dale Jameson and his wife Cheryl Lynn and their 6-year-old daughter Madison were living what appeared to be a normal life in Eufaula, Oklahoma.
Okay, so it was Oklahoma. Got it.
Yeah. So the family had plans to buy a 40-acre plot of land near Red Oak, Oklahoma, where they planned to live inside a storage shed they already owned.
On 40 acres?
Yeah, it's like even the start of the story is like real crazy.
Okay. All right.
On October 8th, 2009, the family was seen from our surveillance video, which I will link in the show notes. But so they were seen packing up their car in a very unusual state. The parents seemed to be almost in a trance. They were seen emotionless, walking back and forth from the house to the car, not really looking or speaking to one another.
I know this.
Oh, you do?
I don't remember how it ends or where it goes.
Did we do it before?
No.
Okay. So I have the video. It doesn't really seem weird to me.
I don't know if I ever saw the video.
The video doesn't seem weird, but I'll post it.
But people say it's weird?
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys go watch it and make your own assumption about that.
So after a couple of days where no one heard from the family, a missing persons report was filed. The Jamison's truck was found in the Latimer County, which is about an hour drive from the Jamison's home. Hold
on. So are they moving?
They want to move, so they're going to see this 40-acre land where they plan to live out of a shed that they already own, which, like, how are you going to go to the bathroom? Where are you going to cook? Like, there's a lot of questions.
Well, I'm sure they would put it in, but, like, wow, that's a lot of land to have a shed that you live in. You could if you're crafty, you can build anything. Maybe stack some sheds on top of each other.
I mean, I don't really know. But the truck had not crashed, and there seemed to be no evidence of foul play. However, what the police found inside the truck was pretty worrisome and confusing. The items discovered inside the truck seemed to indicate the couple had not planned to be away from the truck for a long time.
Oh, no. Oh, wait.
Did we do this?
No, we didn't. I'm just like, I've just always listened to podcasts and shit. Okay, I'll let you say it. I'm sorry.
So both of the parents' phones were found inside, as well as the car keys, a GPS, $32,000 in cash. At the time, Bobby and Cheryl Lynn were on disability.
They were on disability, so they were getting...
Yeah.
Okay.
At the time of their disappearance.
Okay. Do we know why?
No.
Okay. I don't know if they would even give a reason. That might just be, like, confidential information. I got questions.
Well, no one knows where they could have gotten that much cash, or if they intended, or what they intended to do with it, and where they could have gotten that much cash from in the first place. Did I say that already?
No. You were just saying you don't know where they would have gotten.
So it was really unknown, but they had $32,000 in cash.
It was really unknown.
Maybe to buy this plot of land, but like, where did you get that money?
Maybe a down payment, but you're not going to fucking buy 40 acres of land with $32,000 in what fucking state? Oklahoma? I don't think so. Right. It's going to cost you a little bit more than that.
Well, no, you could do plots of land for like $5,000.
40 acres?
Oh, that's true. I forgot about that.
Suck on my titty.
So, but investigators suspected that drugs may have been involved in the disappearance, and that the large amount of cash was a result in
from drug selling.
Yeah, either them buying or selling drugs.
Well, you don't make money for buying drugs. I can tell you from experience.
Well, yes, you do. You make your money back, and then you spend it to buy more drugs. It's a cycle. I don't know.
As a dealer, money. You're saying as a dealer? Oh,
they thought they were selling or buying drugs.
Or both.
They were going to purchase the drugs, so they had $32,000.
Okay. Hi.
Yeah.
I get it now. Got it.
Also found in the truck was Madison's dog, Maisie.
That's the part I remember. Yeah. What the fuck?
It was also left in the truck. The poor dog was close to death from malnutrition, but luckily it ended up surviving and now lives with a family member.
That's the part that when you started talking, I was like, oh, there's a fucking dog that they left in here, because that's what I remember most about this story.
Their family claims that Madison loved the dog and would never have left her in that state. Right. The family's cell phone, car keys, and GPS, and all of that cash in the car is also very confusing.
That's very confusing. But the fucking dog is so concerning. That's like BRB.
Right, that's like not something that you leave
It's either BRB or we're on drugs and don't know what we're doing.
Well, so this is the part that made me, this is the part where I started like hearing things, and it made me really uncomfortable because I saw the picture. I'm getting there.
Okay, sorry, I'll let you say. When you say hearing things, you mean like hearing things in real life in your house?
In my house.
Love that for everybody.
There are some other important clues they found in the car as well. Sherilyn had a gun that she usually kept in the car that was never found. There was also an 11-page letter from Sherilyn to her husband in which she was very aggressive towards him. Her family later stated... Her family and friends later stated that wasn't unusual.
Oh, that they were aggressive towards each other? Yeah. Or that they wrote each other 11-page letters?
That's weird to me.
Also, you know what? It could have just been something I used to do that with somebody because I used to argue with them and we would just butt heads and I couldn't get anything out. So I would write it out in a letter because you can't interrupt a letter. So This is my thoughts. We can talk about it. I would gladly accept your thoughts in the form of a letter, but if we're having an argument and you're going to cut me off, it's not all going to... Right. You know? And it could... Right. Okay. But that's interesting. An 11-page letter. It's like that episode of Friends where Rachel gives it to him and he doesn't read it. And she goes, well, does it?
Right.
And he goes, yes. And he doesn't know what that means.
Pivot. Okay.
Pivot.
So one last thing that was very unusual is a picture found on Bobby's phone of his daughter Madison.
Oh, his phone was in there too.
Yeah, this picture was taken the day that they disappeared. The 6-year-old was shown leaning up against a rock with her arms crossed,
And
she looked
really uncomfortable.
Yeah, and
I've
this
seen
picture like made me really nervous.
Yeah, it makes me nervous.
It made me feel like not good. The family
it's very eerie when it's like this. These are missing. These people are missing, and like this is
like this little girl's
and it was
distraught.
taken on that day, right?
Right. Well, the family did not want the picture being shown because they strongly believe it was taken by someone else, who Madison feared.
Oh my God, that makes it even more horrifying to look at that picture. What the fuck?
That's what I read, and I was like, I don't know.
I hate
creepy.
that. Oh no.
So a search party was formed, and investigators combed through miles of woods and surrounded area looking for any trace of the Jamison family, but nothing turned up. The case went cold until November 16th, 2013. That day, just 3 miles from where the truck was found 4 years earlier. Hunters stumbled upon the partial skeletal remains of 2 adults and 1 child.
Oh no.
Forensic testing proved that they were the skeletons of the Jamison family, but due to the state of decomposition, the case of death could not be determined. The police went back into the case, and this is where it gets really weird.
I don't know if I'm ready for it to get weirder.
So, during the whole investigation, many weird things started coming out about the family. For instance, they had an interest in witches and witchcraft.
Okay.
So
do
witches'
we.
Bibles were found in the house, and even the family's pastor said that the Jamisons had been involved in some sort of spiritual welfare, and Bobby had once asked him for special bullets to shoot spirits with.
Oh.
Bobby had gone to his pastor and claimed that his home was haunted, saying that he had 2 to 4 ghosts on the roof.
Okay, so this is why you stopped.
Yeah.
I get it.
So police
Whoa,
uncovered a strange security video. This is the one I'm talking about.
Right.
And they claim that in the video of the night the Jamisons left, the couple is seen going back and forth between the house and the truck, packing up their belongings prior to their disappearance. Sherilyn also purchased a satanic Bible, allegedly as a joke. However, Bobby confessed to his pastor that he had read it, leading some people to believe that witchcraft may have been a factor in their deaths.
I bought a satanic Bible and I came down to my bedroom and you were reading it and you were like, you know what? Some of this makes sense.
Literally, I was like, yeah, like, don't do to others what you don't want to you. Like, yes, hello, Satan, that makes sense.
Hello, the golden rule, baby. Golden rule, golden shower.
Well, Sherilyn's mother, Connie Cocotan, believed that the Jamisons had somehow gotten entangled with the cult and were murdered by violent members. But she never named a cult, and no evidence has ever been discovered to support that theory. I have a lot of theories. Are you ready?
I am so yes, but what I was going to say before this, it reminds me, I feel like I covered this, not this case, but I feel like I covered this case that this reminds me of.
Oh, it's not Folie à Deux, right?
Yeah, wait,
okay.
Was it Folie à Deux?
It's just like when one person has a mental illness, other people are experiencing the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, look at you, smarticle barticle. Yeah. Oh, fuck.
When I'm alone and high, I watch videos on it, and I'm like,
it's crazy, right?
But
it also
2 twins. Remember them?
Who?
The 2 twins that were.
Oh yeah, we haven't
them?
talked about that yet. We should cover that in the case.
Creepy.
This is kind of what it's. Before you get into the theories, that's kind of what it reminds me of, because it's possible that 1, maybe drugs are involved.
Yeah.
I'm sure you'll get to it. But 2, also in a Folie à Deux case, for those of y'all who didn't listen to our episode, which I think I just got an alert that episode, because you talked about the 2 gay guys, right?
Yes.
Back in the Leopold or something like that. Yeah, that was a year ago. So I just got like a thing that was like, look at what you posted a year ago. But where like one person has a psychosis or a mental break, and it's shared within a group of people for like
mostly family members, but it can be friends
for like a seemingly unknown reason. That's kind of like where my head's
it doesn't
at.
look like
okay,
that.
Give me the theories, baby. Take me there.
So, police did look into the theory that it had been a murder-suicide. They uncovered an angry letter written from Sherilyn to Bobby that was 11 pages long, like I mentioned earlier.
Okay.
This led them to speculate that Bobby had driven his whole family into the woods, murdered his wife, daughter, and then himself. But this theory couldn't be proven.
How would he have done it?
Right?
Here's the thought. Because if it was a bullet to the head,
Also, like, that those bodies were placed there. They didn't just miss those 3 bodies in the woods. They were placed there. They had to have been. How do you miss 3 bodies in the woods?
I don't know, because I mean, if it's not a populated wooded area, it's possible that they died there and then like however many years later they were
Yeah, but they searched
discovered.
it. It was just so...
Maybe they didn't search total. I don't know.
Right,
That's true. But my thought is, okay, let's talk about this theory really quick. I don't want to dismiss it, but the reason I don't know if this would be a thing is how would he have murdered them?
Yeah.
If it was a gunshot wound,
Well, the gun was missing.
Well, here's the thing. One, the medical examiner said they couldn't figure out how they were killed.
Right.
If it was a gunshot wound to the head, there would be a bullet hole through the fucking skull.
You're right. Mm-hmm.
Also, if it was a murder-suicide, he can't shoot himself in the head and then throw the gun away. It would be near him.
Right.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Unless a fucking bear is going to come through and be like, I'm going to go fucking shoot up this 7-Eleven.
That's true.
So where would be the murder weapon? If it was murder-suicide, it would be nearby.
Yeah.
If it was like, if it was like a stabbing thing, they found the remains, but the clothes were probably most likely on them.
Yeah.
And I feel like you could see stabbing holes within it, right?
Yeah, definitely.
It could have been poison.
Yeah,
I guess
but then
that might
you know, right?
No, if it's only skeletal remains.
That's true.
I feel
But why
like
is the gun missing?
I don't know. The gun could be missing. It couldn't. Maybe it wasn't the. Maybe that wasn't used at all. Maybe they left it somewhere. Maybe somebody else. Hold on. I'm sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm sorry.
Maybe someone else. Another theory considered was that Bobby's father, Bob Dean Jameson, had been involved. Bobby had filed a protective order against his dad, claiming that he had threatened to kill him and his family, and they were afraid for their lives. Bobby's petition for a protective order paints the picture of a very dangerous man who thinks he is above the law. He was also involved in prostitutes, gangs, and meth. However, his dad died 2 months after the Jameson family went missing and had been in poor health for some time. His brother Jack claimed that he was either in a hospital or at a nursing home at the time, and although he is a disturbed individual, he was not capable of murdering people.
It sounds like the father. What, Bob? Was that the dad who's missing, not the dad who was in the hospital? What was his name? What was the dad's name who went missing and his remains were found? I'm sorry, I forgot.
Oh, Dale. No.
Dale. No.
It was
Dale.
Bobby.
Bobby.
So they're both Bob.
Okay, so Bobby. It sounds like he.
It always says Bobby Dale, and I'm like, no.
That might be his like full name. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like Ricky Bobby, Justin Bobby.
Look at that.
It sounds like he may have either one been on drugs or two had some sort of mental illness where he was paranoid about things because the ghost thing.
Right.
And then also having a fear of his own father.
Right.
I mean, there could be some truth there. I don't know this family, but it sounds like he's very paranoid.
Right.
And it sounds like in the video they were leaving.
He was paranoid. Right.
It's possible.
He was like.
Just thinking. That's kind of where my intuition is telling me.
So, Sherilyn had suffered, this is another theory.
Mm-hmm.
Sherilyn had suffered from bipolar disorder and depression. She had a pistol, which was never located, and Bobby had a possible gunshot to the back of his head. I don't know where they're getting this. I didn't read this anywhere else. So, like...
How is he going to well, also depending on how the remains are, you could say it's like a possible gunshot wound. However, unless there's pieces of his skull missing, which it's very true. It's like if they're left there, but it's left out there in nature. So like if there's pieces of his skull missing, it is plausible that something could have happened in nature, like animals, whatever. So maybe there's pieces of his skull missing, but that's interesting that you only read that there. But having one gunshot wound.
Also, I don't think that the mother would kill her daughter.
Maybe she did. But again,
that's true. You never know.
If it was, which brings me back to murder-suicide. It doesn't matter if it was the dad or the wife. How are you going to kill yourself and not have any evidence of it there? Is that crazy? I feel like there might be a loophole that I'm totally missing, and then I'm later going to scream at myself about of how this is plausible that you could do that. But to me, I don't know.
But there's no evidence pointing that there's actually a gunshot wound
to his head.
Yeah.
You can't like shoot yourself in the heart and like miss your ribs and not have any of your bone fragments hit and not shoot, because it sounds like they don't know how any of them fucking died.
Right. But
Poison.
they're pointing to Sherilyn because of that 11-page angry letter that
And the
she
fact
wrote,
that she was bipolar.
right,
Huh.
to Bobby.
That triggers me.
But
I don't
the
like
things
that.
do not make sense about the theory is that I don't believe she would kill her daughter, but you never know. She's
You
bipolar.
never know. Not that bipolar people would kill their daughters,
No,
but
no.
you just, I guess
Some
we didn't
people
know her.
have a break,
We
you
didn't know
know?
her. She also could have had things that were undiagnosed. She could have had a breaking point. It's possible.
There is another theory that states that their death had something to do with witches or cults.
Oh, God.
Sherilyn's best friend Nikki admits that they were very interested in witches and Satan, and Sherilyn would leave notes around the house for Satan.
Girl, me too. I got my post-it notes. I'm like, hey, Satan, call me.
And then, like we said, the Jamesons seemed kind of paranoid of a spirit or a cult, and maybe the paranoia went too far.
Or maybe what do you mean the paranoia went too far? Maybe the paranoia was true.
Right, exactly.
I mean, it is possible, Now, how far, you may have said this and I may have missed it. How far was their bodies found from the I don't know if
It
you
was
know
like
this.
a couple of miles.
Not away,
far.
not from the truck, from the location that they were going to go look at the.
Oh, it doesn't say.
Okay.
This is the theory that the family thinks happened. This is what they say is the more practical.
Okay.
That it was drug related. The area they were found in is very known for drug use, especially crystal meth. This could explain
Their weird
the
behavior.
trance-like state in the videotape. And then the $32,000 in cash. Sherilyn's best friend Nikki said the family was struggling with money problems and wouldn't be surprised if this was a drug deal gone wrong. But Bobby and Sherilyn's parents, however, claimed their children would never be involved with drugs, and there was no evidence of drugs in the house or of the car.
Interesting.
Lastly, this is another theory. They think that it was just like a random serial killer or a stranger. Some people believe that the family had been looking for a plot of land, got lost, and died of natural causes.
Here's my question. I have a lot of questions, but really quick. Just want to... About the phone.
Yeah.
It was left in the truck.
Yeah.
So the killer would have had to...
Touch it.
Right?
Why didn't they why didn't they test it?
Also, that would mean they would have had to have been like forced out of the car.
Right.
Because the thought that I was having was maybe whoever was having them come see the 40 acres of land knew that they would have been bringing a lump sum of cash to like a down payment on the land. So, because this has actually happened to people before, like where somebody has posted that they're selling this land, but they're not actually the fucking landlord.
like fucking Craigslist killer.
Yeah, so you say, okay, I'm going to come look at this land. The person shows up, and you literally don't own the land. You can kill them and take their money, and then there's nothing really traceable back to you.
Right.
I don't know. That's just kind of the thought that I was having.
Ooh,
but also, why maybe a serial killer just to kill, just to get the numbers up? I don't know. But, yeah, that picture makes me uncomfortable. I've seen it.
Yeah, I don't like it.
She looks, but I don't know if it was the... I don't know.
I just don't know. She looks like
Very uncomfortable.
like she's crying.
And it looks like why would the dad take a picture of her there?
Yeah, and why would the family take a picture of her looking like that?
But another thing is, if going back to my own theory about taking the money, why was all that money found in the car?
Right? Well, because they were going to buy a plot of land.
No, but I'm saying my theory of that guy killing them to get their money.
Oh, yeah.
Why would he have left that money in the car? Especially if the
right.
theory is the killer took a picture with the phone
Why was all
and
that
had
money
access
left?
in the car. Yeah, why was the
their
money
cell
left
phones
in the
Why was everything left? Yeah. that's
Also, if it was a drug dealer of some sort or something like that, why wasn't there anything found in their house?
right. Also, why wasn't the money taken?
Well, if they were paranoid, they could have gotten rid of any sort of drug paraphernalia. They could have literally done it at a dumpster
That's
before that.
right. That was
Before
like a part
that
of the
day.
thing.
It could have been
Yeah.
part of when they were paranoid. So they could have done like a house sweep and got rid of everything.
Right.
It's possible. I don't know.
They were literally going back and forth between the car, and I'm like, what do you possibly need?
Yeah.
All I had was the cell phone, GPS, the dog, and the money. I'm like, what? Why are you going back and forth?
Yeah. Weren't they like not talking to each other either?
No, people say that you can't see it in the video, but they claim that they're like in a trance-like state. Like they're just not talking, they're emotionless. They're just going back and forth, back and forth. But I'm like, what do you need to go back and forth for? All you had was a GPS, your cell phones, money.
Okay, so
and the
then
dog.
where was all that stuff? Were they bringing things back and forth? I would have to watch it. Were they bringing
Do you
shit?
want to see it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because my question is, if that's all that was found, did they not find all the shit that was like in the stuff they were bringing back and forth? Because where is that stuff? Maybe somebody did like take shit that was in the car. I don't know. That's it.
That's it.
Got any more theories? And it's still unsolved, like nobody knows.
No one knows.
Huh. I guess that's all we have for you guys. Do you have a fun fact and a tweet of the week?
I have a tweet of the week. I don't have a fun fact, but I can find it really quick.
Okay, so I'll tell my fun fact while you're... So my fun fact is that M&M stands for Mars and Murray. That's because Forrest Mars, who is the son of the Mars Company founder, he first spotted the British candy Smarties during the Spanish War. Now, these aren't the same Smarties we have. They're essentially what our M&Ms are. So he saw them and he's just like, oh shit, I want to make one of those. And he noticed that there was a candy shell on the outside that prevented the chocolate from melting. So he teamed up with Bruce Murray, who was the son of Hershey Chocolate's president. And the company later trademarked the "melt in your mouth, not in your hands" slogan. So I didn't know that the Mars Company founder and the Hershey Chocolate president's son, well, did I say son? The Mars Company founder's son, and then the other. How cute is that? And they were like, hey, let's stop competing and let's bring our M&Ms together.
Remember, what was that one that like they got torn apart? Was it Twix? No.
Twix. Oh yeah, Twix, where there's the left Twix and the right Twix.
Yeah, like that
what
was
the fuck
so
is
dumb.
that marketing scheme? I don't understand it still. They were like, we need to sell more Twix. Listen, I love Twix. They're my favorite. Debatably, what's your favorite like chocolate bar?
You know I like Snickers.
How am I supposed to know that? You don't eat Snickers.
Yes, I do.
It's not like something you snack on.
Oh.
The one that I do not like is Three Musketeers.
I like Three Musketeers.
That's the one with like the
K-Days.
chocolate mousse, right?
Yeah.
I don't like that. Get out of here with your mousse caboose. Twix is probably my favorite. It's got it all. It's got the texture. It's got the caramel. Excuse me. It's got the caramel. It's got the chocolatey exterior. Are you team left side or team right side? Let us know at odditiespodcast@gmail.com. I still don't understand what that was about. Are they still trying to market that? I don't get it.
Oh.
What?
I'm trying to find the tweet of the week I saved, and someone, I guess Trisha Paytas, posted a picture of her boobs, and they were like, whoever did her boob job needs to go to jail.
Oh, I'm gonna say no comment.
Yeah, we're not. Okay.
No, you can leave. You can drop a comment. I'm just gonna say no comment because I already have issues.
They're
we all?
placed in the wrong place. Okay, so did you know you can hear a whale's heartbeat from more than 2 miles away?
With your bare ears?
Yeah.
Damn, the fuck?
Like if you're underwater. Doo-doo, doo-doo.
Oh no, it's closing in on you. So my tweet of the week comes from @Aaron Carter, and he says, I have no one to leave my money to. I'm a single man. I like spending money. Well, baby, if you want to change that, please answer my DMs. Why did you stop messaging me? And why won't you return my calls anymore?
Yikes. All right.
@Aaron Carter.
My tweet of the week is from @Kaylani. She says, life is so fire when you know how to be happy for people. I promise you. Stop being mad that people are getting blessed and you're not. That's why you're not getting blessed. Okay?
Wow. Spoken like a true millennial. I love that. Well, thank you guys so much for listening. If you want bonus content, again, that's patreon.com/esoteric oddities. Follow us on social media to keep up with the haps. See what we're up to.
What's the hap?
Might accidentally post our nudes. You're not going to want to see that.
Stay tuned. All I know is my tits don't look like Trisha Paytas. Goodbye.